to the 2023-2024 Yearbook Dedication. We're going to start things off with a passage written by our editor-in-chief, Paul Schuler, and read by our copy editor, Ashton Cornett. Listen closely, as it might give you some hints about our theme for this year's book.
You are about to embark upon a journey through the worlds of North Cross School. Learn about each world and how they collide every day in the vast cosmos of our school. Witness the explosive reactions when STEM and school spirit intersect. Explore the great things that happen when academics and athletics collide. Discover the influence of our arts on a global scale where it creates a universe of opportunities. You will observe our finest students and our brightest stars. This school is our world. These are the worlds of North Cross.
Good morning. Good morning, students, faculty and staff, guests, as well as soon-to-be alumni of North Cross School. My name is Paul Schuler, and I'm the editor-in-chief of this year's yearbook staff, and I'm delighted to be introducing the theme to you today. I'd like to start off by thanking all of you for being here. The people behind me have put in countless hours into the compass, and today is the day we finally get to share it with all of you. I'd like to thank my entire staff, especially my assistant editor, Indira Weed. Creating the yearbook is definitely not a job for one person, and I could not have asked for a better group to work with. Thank you, Mrs. Sled, for being an amazing advisor and teacher. You've taught myself and others the skills necessary to, on the surface, create an entire book, but also how to work effectively as a team. Thank you to the administration, Mrs. Lemon, Mr. Valderas, for your continued support and the trust you place in us as a staff. And thank you to all of you, the students. This is your book and it has your stories in it, so thank you. Now on to theme. This year we settled on an idea that captures North Cross particularly well. When the editors started working in the summer, we had a few ideas from last year's staff who gave us suggestions and theme ideas they thought were interesting. Two of these ideas stuck out. We wanted our readers to feel as if they were embarking upon a grand adventure, an adventure that would take them to every part of North Cross. We also liked the idea of taking a look at the world of North Cross, but we realized we couldn't just narrow North Cross down to one world. Neither of these ideas felt complete enough, so instead of picking one, we decided to combine the two. We have created a yearbook that will show you every corner of North Cross, from the walls of the multi-purpose room to the robots in the makerspace, from middle school intramurals to the wonderful music of Fishburne Auditorium, from the halls of the dorms to the fields of athletic competition. You will embark upon a journey that will show you all our universe has to offer. You will learn about each of our worlds and see how they collide and build this beautiful place we call home. It is my distinct privilege to introduce to you and unveil volume 62 of the Compass, Worlds Collide. You will embark upon an epic journey across the worlds of North Cross, and you will see how they cross paths. In Worlds Collide, there are 6 worlds: spirit, academics, STEM, arts, global, and reference. They each highlight a unique aspect of your experience. One of North Cross's strengths is allowing its students to be a part of multiple worlds, which is why, in between them, you will find individual students who blur the line. After all, this school means so many different things to different people, but we all show up at the same place every morning because we are one community. As you look through this year's compass, if you can't figure out which world you are in, look near the page number and you will find a stamp designed by Indira. Each world has one, and you will receive a sticker sheet of each stamp to place wherever you'd like. A goal we had at the beginning of the year was to be the best journalists we could and cover as much of the school as we could. One important statistic we'd like to share with all of you is that this book has 83% coverage. What that means is 83% of our students at North Cross are in the book at least 3 times. That's the highest percentage the campus has ever achieved, at least in recent history. So thank you all. It's been an honor serving as your editor-in-chief, and we hope you enjoy reading. Now I'd like to invite Blake Shaner and Eason Zhou, our 2 photo editors, to the podium. Thank you.
So one of the things that we realized this year is that unless you're in the room with us, you really don't know what goes into creating a yearbook. So we thought we'd try to remedy that a bit.
So please join us behind the scenes of Yearbook in this video that the staff produced this spring. Enjoy.
All right, I hope you enjoyed our video. We had fun making that this spring. I'm going to be honest, I'm not normally a fan of public speaking, but I have been looking forward to this moment since quite literally Christmas, because I finally get to tell everyone how absolutely amazingly incredible this staff has been this year. This year's book is about collisions and connections, about the ties that bind, the common threads, about the underlying motifs and the intersecting Venn diagrams. Our worlds of North Cross collide every day in every way. Our worlds even collide on staff. Behind me sit yearbook staffers, but they're also lacrosse players and artists and scientists and soccer players and global scholars and tennis players and volleyball players and a million other things too. Just like so many of our students, they can't be summed up as one thing. To do so would be callously reductive. I've been a part of this community for many, many years, and I've often wondered, what makes a North Cross kid different? I think the legacy of a North Cross kid is trying. Not sure about something? Give it a try. Explore the worlds of North Cross and the worlds within yourself. See where your worlds end up colliding. In your explorations, you'll find that not everyone is good at everything, and that's okay. That's why on our staff, we meet each other where we are. We're a team. To have any kind of functioning team, you need different kinds of people with different strengths. Yearbook is no different. Sure, you need your quarterback, that's Paul, but you also need your goalie and your second baseman and your doubles partner and so forth. A solid team relies on worlds colliding, and I cannot imagine a staff that better embodies this. We brought 2 freshmen into the fold this year, Maddie and Kimmy. They both learned quickly, and we discovered that Maddie is amazing at using formulas and spreadsheets. She was so helpful as we analyzed our coverage for the year. Kimmy jumped right into designing spreads, never seeming overwhelmed, just working steadily. He took on any task that was asked of him without complaint and was such a wonderful addition to staff. We also have 3 sophomores this year, Winnie, Emma, and Chase. Winnie and Emma had both been on staff before, so we were thrilled to see some returning staffers. In the world of yearbook, it makes a huge difference in the year to have a large group of returners. Emma did a great job this year, taking the time to explore photography and take photos. Winnie always has a fantastic input in group discussions, often thinking outside the box to add coverage or reconsider existing ideas. Chase was an exciting addition to staff because he came in with a graphic design background already. In fact, 88% of this year's staff came into the year with either graphic design or yearbook experience. Talk about amazing. Chase is quiet but determined, trying things and figuring things out without any fuss. All 3 of our sophomores were amazing, and I do hope that they'll return next year. We also had 3 juniors this year, Indira, Sebastian, and Paul Lankowski. Again, all 3 came in with prior experience, and all 3 had different strengths that we relied upon as we went through the process. Paul is so good at gathering exactly what is needed for a spread. He is responsible for the fun faculty coverage this year, and I was so impressed with how he stuck with it until he had all of the interviews he needed. Sebastian, I'm going to be honest, Sebastian I don't think has ever met a deadline that he got along super well with. But because of this, people have a tendency to underestimate him whenever he's not on a lacrosse field. But Sebastian fills a needed spot on our team. He thrives in that last-minute chaos of finishing a book. That make or break time when there are 8 million tiny things to take care of. That's when you can rely on Sebastian, because he's going to stay cool, calm, and collected, and he's going to take care of each and every random errand and little task that's sent his way with a "don't worry, I've got it, Miss Sled." And he does. He doesn't complain, he's always ready to help, and he's the one who's going to notice little things, like pushing in chairs and holding doors. Indira is Indira. Is there really anything else I need to say? She's incredibly talented, amazingly driven, and passionate about yearbook. She took on the role of assistant editor this year, and she's the person directly responsible for the visuals in the book, the stamps, the colors, all of it. And toward the end, as we were frantically editing and finishing pages, she was quite literally using a hotspot in her car on, I think, a family trip somewhere, helping to get the book done. To say she deserves your admiration and thanks is an understatement. The staff will be in good hands with her at the helm as editor-in-chief next year. These 3 are such a perfect example of worlds colliding to form such a great team. Lastly, our seniors. Yes, I have 8 seniors on staff this year, on a staff of 16. Yes, I am a little nervous about next year, thanks for asking. Our seniors absolutely shined this year. Selden is one of the best writers I've had on staff. She intuitively knows how to find an angle and tell a story, and she developed some of our best segments in the book this year. Kate's strength is her ability to see the big picture. She asks fantastic questions that keep us on track and make us think about things in new and fun ways. Hudson was a new addition to our staff, but he jumped right in ready to work. He played a huge role in making sure that all of our seniors were represented in the book, and he happily took on any job that came his way. One of the things I love most about Hudson is that he always follows through. As an advisor, that meant that I knew he could handle more complex tasks that required moving parts or contacting people, and a staffer like that is invaluable. Lydia was our spread maker extraordinaire. I would say that aside from our editors, she was easily the best designer on staff. She was always coming up with fun, creative ideas of ways to incorporate our theme onto spreads, and she would try things out until she was really happy with the spread. She's also fearless with color. Whenever a spread needed a little pizzazz, we'd send it Lydia's way. Eason. What are we going to do next year without Eason? Over the past 3 years, I and the evolving yearbook staffs have come to rely heavily on Eason and his amazing pictures. Eason went out of his way time and time again to cover anything and everything on campus. One small example, he noticed that I was trying to take pictures at every DeHart speech, and admittedly the photos were just okay, and he volunteered to take that task on. All year at every single speech, he was standing in the back with his camera, ready to go. That kind of consistency and reliability are rare. I think it should be some sort of cruel and unusual punishment that we lose Eason and Blake in the same year. Blake also takes incredible pictures and will go out of his way to make sure that events are covered and that I'm not the one trying to cover everything. He volunteers to take on extra work, and so many times he would be the one to come through when I needed some last-minute coverage for some kind of event. Blake leads quietly, but the staff will feel his loss acutely. Ashton leads with a quiet sort of integrity. He was our copy editor this year, and he unintentionally, I think, really single-handedly set the tone for our staff this year. Relaxed and fun, but with high expectations and a dedication to the book. I hate that more of you in lower and middle school didn't get the chance to teach and know Ashton because he is an amazing person. And lastly, Paul. Paul stepped into the role of editor-in-chief this year, ready to take on the task of leading this crew across the finish line, and he did just that. Paul's style isn't loud or dramatic, rather he often leads by example, diligently working on the book at every opportunity. All year, Paul checked in with me all the time to make sure all was well and to see what else he could be doing. He was invested in the book and the staff, and it shows. I truly could not have picked a better group of 16 students to work with this year. I also want to take a quick moment to thank our honorary yearbook staffers who helped us with a few odds and ends throughout the year. Ansley Ayers, Danny Fung, Kenzie Raub, Catherine Hancock, Carter Krasminski, Tilden Ayers, Anna Chikozy, Charlie Zhao, and Carter Levan. A yearbook should be representative of the entire student body, so it was important to us to try to bring in an even greater variety of voices when we had the opportunity. I want to take one last moment to add a few thank yous. The yearbook is truly, truly a campus effort. The staff wants to thank all faculty and staff for being so supportive during the process of creating the yearbook. Thank you to the students who share their stories with us and trust us with the telling of them. Thank you to Ms. Lemon, Mr. Balderas, Ms. Kyer, and Mr. Lamas for supporting the Compass and its staff. Thank you to Ms. Schlachter, Ms. Horner, and Ms. Hoyt for helping us identify students, for filling us in on what's going on in your buildings, and for helping us proofread pages. Thank you to the amazing Tracy Schaefer for literally everything, but especially for arranging spring team photos, helping us identify athletes, and sharing stats. Thank you to Wad Jensen, Robert Robillard, and LifeTouch for sharing amazing photos with us. And lastly, thank you to the Willis Hall Herald for sharing photos and stories with us. I also want to say a huge thank you to Mr. Schlachter for setting everything up today and dealing with any computer issues we had and anything else that he does. Now, before we get to some fun yearbook trivia, I do have one surprise for the staff. In honor of your hard work, each of you is going to receive a little keychain of our book. Hudson, will you grab them and help hand them out to the staff? I hope that this little keychain will always remind you of the hard work and the love that you put into this year's book. If you are walking around campus later and you see these students, please thank them, because yes, this is all kinds of fun and rewarding, but it's also time-consuming and stressful and just hard work. To the staff, I want you to know how absolutely incredibly proud I am of all of you. It has been an absolute honor to create this piece of history with you all. Seniors, please know that you'll always have a home here, in the yearbook room and at North Cross. And now, Kate and Selden, I believe it's time for some yearbook trivia.
Okay, so we're going to do this by division. So if it's a lower school question, only a lower schooler can answer. If it's a middle school question, only a middle schooler can answer, and so forth. If it's a question for your division and you think you know the answer, raise your hand. Do not shout out answers, please.
You're playing for the chance to win an exclusive themed and custom tie-dyed 2024 Compass Yearbook t-shirt and keychain. Only 24 in existence. Okay.
Okay, so this is for the lower school. How many pages are in our yearbook? You know that. No, I get them. Okay, it's a little bit lower than that. Good enough. You know that. 200? 200 is correct. Good job. Okay, next question is middle school. Middle school, what is the name of our yearbook? Remember, this is different from the theme that changes every year. Yeah. Good job. Okay, this is for the upper school. We have one yearbook legacy on staff this year. If, in fact, his dad was editor of the yearbook when he was here on staff at North Cross. Who is our yearbook legacy? Bella? No. Parker? No. Ned? Yeah. Dr. Seuss book was our 2021 to 2022 yearbook based on? Correct? Correct! It's the place to go. Okay, middle school. How many ads did we sell this year? Both senior ads and business ads. Yeah. Okay, upper school. There are 6 people who have had the yearbook dedicated to them twice. Can you name one? 1 to 6. Twice. No. Walker? Dr. Proctor? No. Thomas? No. Who? Miss Glenn. No, not Miss Glenn. Joaquin? Mr. Lawrence? No. Mr. Cook? Correct. So, what year is the earliest No. Older. We'll give you guys a minute. It's sometime in the 1960s. 1964, really close, so not quite. Callie? No, not 1966. Let's do the number. Not 1955. 1963 is correct. Good job. And now to Indira for the official dedication of the yearbook.
This is the one that we have to, so, okay. I don't know this one. Other one. Oh, that one makes sense. Okay, yeah.
Where do all worlds, all lives, all stories collide? For us, the answer is in the library with our amazing librarian, Mrs. Holly. Mrs. Holly began working at North Cross in 2000 as a JK4 teacher, before taking a short break and returning as a librarian. The 2023-2024 school year marks her 20th year working for the school, putting her among the top faculty members who have been here the longest. She has seen 5 different heads of school, been through 2 major capital campaigns, watched the renovation of 5 different buildings on campus, helped design a brand new library space, organized the relocation of an entire library of books in one day, and most recently, she has begun work on the school's first dedicated archive space. Currently, Mrs. Holly teaches over 15 lower school classes every week, in addition to collaborating with teachers in all 3 divisions on various research and projects for different classes. The custom lower school curriculum that she has created and honed over the years is truly amazing. She also manages to keep up with book requests from students and teachers throughout the school, often purchasing new books to ensure that everyone always has the book they want or need. She also handles all of the administrative library work, including researching, purchasing, processing and cataloging books, budgeting, collection management, and library policy. In addition, Mrs. Holly also oversees the 100 Books program for the lower schoolers, the creation and curation of the summer reading list, and both the Scholastic Book Fair in the fall and the Summer Reading Book Fair in the spring. The summer reading list in particular is a work of art. It is easily one of the strongest and most diverse lists in the Roanoke Valley. And what's more, Mrs. Holly has personally read every single book that she has put on the list to ensure that it is worthy of being included. Lastly, Mrs. Holly has also begun overseeing the creation and curation of our first dedicated archive space, carefully sorting through, analyzing, preserving, and storing some of our most precious school artifacts. It is also important to mention her role in the design of our new library space during the Legacy campaign. She worked tirelessly with the architects and builders to be sure that the space would meet the needs of every single student on campus, and even had the foresight to have most of the shelving built on wheels for future versatility. In short, Mrs. Holly is the very definition of a librarian. She's quick-witted, curious, and always ready to help both students and teachers alike in their pursuit of knowledge. Her passion for reading and her pure intellectual curiosity are unparalleled, and she has fostered a love of reading and a thirst for knowledge in so many students who have been lucky enough to cross her path. In the words of 7th grader Gray Cullen, she takes time to help us, even when she's busy. You can go there whenever, and she will always be willing to help you, order a book if you don't have it, stuff like that. She's always there for you if you need something from the library. Mrs. Holly really loves what she does, and that's what makes her so great. And now it is my pleasure to officially dedicate the 2023-2024 yearbook to Amy Holly.
just so sweet, guys. I'd like to be more eloquent, but I don't think I can beat anything Indira's just said. That is so wonderful. Thank you. I was just listening to all these kids and looking at all of you and thinking just how amazing this is just to see all of this come together without knowing any of this. Y'all got me, for sure. It's just such a blessing to be here, to see all of you. I'm watching all of these seniors and thinking that they should be about this tall. The time goes so fast. But it is so cool to me, genuinely, to see how these worlds collide, to see all the things that you do as I watch sort of kind of behind the scenes over the years, as I see all of you like take on STEM things, and I go in the auditorium and you're singing and I'm thinking, I didn't know they could do that. Wow. So many things through the years as I see you all take them on. So this theme is particularly a special one as I look at all of you. I'm so privileged to get to see all of you as you go all the way through, and then as you come back and see us and tell us all the things that you're doing, because we really do pay attention. We watch and notice and see all the things you're doing, and we're excited to hear about what you're doing, and this is just so special. Thank you so much, truly. Thank you so much. This is so sweet.
I would just like to say, as we were discussing the dedication, Mrs. Holly's been on the list for a while. We have kind of a short list that we work from, and they were pretty adamant. I was like, well, that's going to put me in a weird spot, but they outvoted me, so. All right, so thank you to everyone for being here this morning to help us celebrate our book and to honor Mrs. Holly. Lower schoolers, your teachers will be handing out your yearbooks and your sticker sheets later today. Middle schoolers, you'll receive your yearbooks and stickers at the beginning of 7th period around 2:30, as long as the weather's pretty outside on the picnic tables. And upper schoolers, your yearbooks will be handed out in the Student Center at the end of the day today. Seniors, if you are in attendance, you can stop by my room at any point to pick up your books. We truly hope that you all enjoyed looking through the book as much as we enjoyed creating it. Thank you. Upper schoolers, if we can stay and let the littles go.